let producer Joe McCoy discusses the development of Apex Legends. Eurogame recently published an interview with Respawn Entertainment's let producer Joe McCoy, who discusses the development behind Apex Legends, a new battle royale game set in THETITANFALLUNIVE and how it came to fruition. McCoy knew right from the beginning that the idea of Apex Legends was going to be hard to sell to players, which explains the secrecy of its launch and minimal marketing to push the game. Our desire is to be completely open and transparent with our player base, and part of that expands to how we talk about problems. And we understand this game is gonna have a skeptical audience, McCoy explains. After all, many players were expecting a sequel to Titanfall 2. There are some people who think there are too many battle royale games. It's a fad. The world thinks we are making Titanfall 3 and we are not. This is what we are making. To try and convince a skeptical audience for months with trailers and hands-on articles. We are just like, let the game speak for itself. It's the most powerful antidote to potential problems. He continues, we are doing a free-to-play game, with essentially loot boxes, after we were bought by, and it's not Titanfall 3, it's the perfect recipe for a marketing plan to go awry. So why have that? Let's just ship the game and let players play. McCoy also describes the challenge of designing a battle royale game without CELTIANTITANFALLPIMECES, namely the Titans. The decision to forego specific abilities or items ultimately came down to the difference in goals between the core Titanfall games and the new battle royale. When we started Apex Legends, we were building on Titanfall 2, and we did not know we were not going to have double jump, a one-running or Titans. McCoy says, the choice to not have those came about because of playtesting against our goals, to have a strategic, learnable, masterable, deep game. Be sure to read the entire piece over at Eurogamer, which provides some more detail about the development of Apex Legends. Newsbrief: Microsoft is temporarily ending the All Access program. It opened up a few maths back, saying that the payment-driven purchasing option will return later in 2019. First launched this August, All Access bundles together an X1 console, X Live, and X Game Pass for either $21.99 and $35.99 a month. The agreement requires a credit check, and this is not an option for everyone, but offers qualifying parties a way to own an X1S, a X1X without spending hundreds of dollars all at once. From the get-go, the All Access program was set to be a limited-time offer, but Microsoft now says it is looking to expand the program and that All Access will return at some point in 2019. Video Game Deep KC's weekly newsletter from video game industry watcher Simon Carlos, DD, Gamasutra Code Runner, rounding up the best long-read standout articles videos about games every weekend. This week's highlights include another gigantic chunk of end-of-year charts, discourses, thoughts and ruminations. And while we are at it, I'm not really big on editorializing in this newsletter, but just wanted to say, please take some time for you and your loved ones at year's end. Before 2019 gets incredibly busy clouds your vision. Until next time, Simon, Curator. MOLADINDUST Arias highlights from 2018. Paulo Patercini MOLADINDUST Arias article. These indeed apocalyptic times are giving a sad embarrassment of releases, but the most popular development strategy seems to be work within established genres. Put a lot of effort into visual polish, probably a result of increasing visual social media, and often just make games punishingly hard, which I guess use our play others in face of limited resources. Simon, as note, continuing his provocateur shenanigans. But Pablo's yearly picks are nonetheless reliably some of the most interesting. Athletes do not own their tattoos. That's a problem for video game developers. Jason M. Bailey, New York Times article. When LeBron James bounds down a basketball court, he is both a transcendent athlete and a prominent palette for dozens of tattoos. His mother's name, Gloria, rests on a crown on his right shoulder, and his forearms bear part of his son LeBron Jr. and 330, an area code for his hometown, Akron, Ohio. Although those tattoos have personal connections, they may not truly be his. Greg Kosovin's Top 10 Games of 2018. Greg Kasovin Giant Bomb article. I made time for plenty of other games, which has always kept me entertained, grounded, and inspired in 2018. Through all its ups and downs, there's a lot of stuff I am only just getting to, so I am going to divide my list into two halves: games I play too little, and not enough, and games I sank my teeth into enough to put them in a real top 10. Simon, as note, absolutely just the tip of the iceberg on Giant Bomb. Please read love the stat guess the top 10s if you have a few. Others including folks like Subset Games, Fever Entertaining Jeff Gerstmann, and Night in the Woods, Scott Benson. Interview, Eric Chung, XL Arcadia CEO. We aim to be the next Neo Geo Stack Shop. MO article. After Spain and numerous public appearances in Japan, XL Arcadia visited France during Stunfest 2018. Shmup MO took this opportunity to interview the president of this new company, Eric Chan, in order to learn more about this ambitious new arcade hardware. Simon, as note, this is a very interesting new cartridge-based arcade game effort. It will be so expensive for home collectors, but it's a super neat idea. Netflix takes interactive storytelling to the next level with Black Mirror, Bandersnatch. Janko wrote this Variety article. Back in early 2017, Netflix approached Black Mirror creators Charlie Brooker and Annabelle Jones with an unusual idea. The streaming service had been experimenting with interactive kids content, giving young viewers the ability to choose their own path through a story with a series multiple choice questions that could be easily answered with the help of a TV remote. Simon, just note, this wired PC has smart detail behind the scenes. Tour. The 10 best video game soundtracks of 2018. Taylor Bodmin, Louis Forden, Scott Wilson. Fact article. It was also another fantastic year for video game soundtracks. Fact has picked 10 of the year's best, from the grimy, industrial synth backdrop to experimental first-person horror title Protropic, to the blissed auto accompaniment, a retro PLATF Aramia CELEST and the big-budget Old West songs of Red Dead Redemption 2, the history of the strategy game. Fraser Brown PC Gamer article. The history of computer strategy games begins on tables and boards, crammed inside cupboards alongside that knockout old box of Risk that every home seems to possess. The moment strategy made the leap to consoles and computers, it was already familiar. The year in relaxing and stressful games. Put on audio. E.T. Jackson article video. With the year winding down, I thought it'd be great to look at 3 games you can chill with us. The impending apocalypse, New Year's rolls in. If you do like to prepare for the end times with some hectic games that get your heart rate up, It was nice enough to give me her favorite stressful games of the year. Simon, as note, rest of Kautoke's year in review is here, including different stuff like this year in video game sex,